Hey, this is Ben Solomon, and welcome to this episode of the Techno Leadership Show. In this episode, I am going to be talking about IT procurement and how to use the trust-based delegation model to delegate a lot of the procurement in your organization. So depending on the size of your organization, as a tech manager or a tech exec, you might be in charge overall for the IT procurement. If you're a big organization, yes, there's a whole procurement department that works with you to do that. But in medium to smaller organizations, it's usually the tech exec or the tech operations manager who's in charge of doing the procurement, managing the finances for the department, and all the other associated things that go with it. One of the things I've found that is beneficial is giving your people the ability to do the procurement that is required for their roles. In some organizations, there are autocratic methodologies in place saying, no, the director of technology has to sign off on everything before it even goes out, which delays things, which is in some sense just unjustified. It's a waste of time, just creating more work for the sake of more work. What has worked for me in this sort of situations is, especially if you have the right systems and platforms in place to do the procurement, purchase orders and all of that in place, it means you can delegate procurement for, let's say, hardware to your hardware technician or hardware engineer. You can delegate network and infrastructure procurement to your infrastructure lead, network engineer, infrastructure engineer, whoever's in charge of that. And you can allow software procurement to your licensing lead, licensing procure, or system admin, whoever in your organization is doing that. It doesn't mean that you don't check anything, you just let it go. But it is allowing them to flexibly do their job, and in the end you sign off on it based on communication that you've had, that they can let you know, look, I've ordered these many parts because of this project that we're working on, and you look at it and go, yep, let's get that done, it's in the budget, let's move on. That way it gives your staff the empowerment that they need to be able to do their jobs effectively. It reduces unnecessary administrative load on you as a tech manager or tech exec. It also means that your whole department works on a much more effective basis. Having you set the guidelines of what is expected, and then they can work with that. You might have expectations that say we need to have one spare laptop for every model that we have in circulation. So that means when your hardware engineers do the procurement for that, or whoever's in charge of that does that, they know if there's 50 that's required, that they need to order 51 to have that spare. They don't have to keep coming and asking you. You set the guidelines, they do the job, you just check to make sure that everything has been covered for, sign off and move on. That makes the process a lot smoother, a lot quicker. And for technology teams, we need the agility to be able to do these things quickly and move, because there are systems that depend on parts, there are people that depend on devices, all of these things that need to be catered for pretty quickly to ensure the smooth operation of the business overall. And when we don't have that flexibility, and when we don't delegate some of those aspects, it's waiting on people that don't really need to be involved for something to occur. And as long as there is money in the budget that's been allocated for those aspects, the financial teams don't have to worry about it either. Some businesses, unfortunately, have CFOs and financial controllers and people who are too micromanaging to the point where it stifles our ability to function effectively and be the innovative front that we need to be for businesses in today's day and age. So, which means you need to work with your CEOs, your CFO, financial controller, and the financial teams to ensure that you have that sort of structure that you can delegate parts of your procurement to your staff, empower your staff to be able to do their best work, get it done effectively without being held back. So hopefully that helps you out. Again, putting something in this place means you need to first get the buy-in from executive teams, work with policies to change policies for procurement so that you can actually delegate easily. It might take a bit of time and effort initially, but once it's done, it'll help your team and your department function a lot more agile and effectively and get more things done in a better clip and get better outcomes for the people that you're serving as well. I wish you all the best in your journey as a tech professional, manager, and leader. If you like this episode, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button to be notified of future episodes as they are released. I look forward to talking to you in a future episode.